Grizz Khan, thank you so much for joining us on DN Sports. It's a huge honor to have you on our show. Grizz, the World Cup's getting tastier by the minute. Every game that passes by, it's just. First off, I feel the Asian, African, and even the Arab teams have closed the gap um, with when it comes to the European teams.
Mm.
Why do you think that's the case? Because we've seen like a lot of upsets. So yeah.
First and foremost, it's my honor to come on. No problem. Thank you for inviting me. And secondly, I'm so glad that you said the quality has been improved from the Asian and African side. Because what we find, a lot of people are trying to diminish the quality and saying, oh, the quality isn't good just because the big teams are getting beaten or are being given good games. And so therefore it's important. I like the way you said the Asian and the African teams and the Arab team, teams from the Middle East are improving their quality. And there's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Look, it's a combination of things, isn't it? It's a combination of things. If we look around, for example, I'm in UK, so if I look at the UK Premier League, how many shocks have we seen? So many. The standard between the top teams and the bottom teams is far narrower than it used to be.
Look at
No one is
Liverpool.
run away with. There you go. There you go. So no one has run away with it. In many leagues, Madrid hasn't run away with it. In Spain or Barcelona or anyone, even in Italy, Napoli. Okay,
Serie A.
Napoli have got a small win.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what we're finding is a lot of players had one eye on the World Cup. Let's just say this: a lot of nations' top players did have one eye on the World Cup. And then what you can say also is these nations that are having the time of their lives. These are once in a possible lifetime moments for these nations. Like, look at Saudi Arabia. How impressive have Saudi Arabia been? Morocco, Japan, who else? So many teams sort of improving the level of football in their countries, the level of coaching. They've hired European coaches, foreign coaches to try to come in and implement the mentality and professionalism, but also using the natural talent of these countries. And we were speaking of here, the natural talent is there in these countries. There is so much natural talent, and it's beautiful to see being displayed on the biggest festival of football.
Uh, France just basically schooled Poland, and Mbappe and Dembele, they look in the mood. France look tasty, but there is a bit of I don't know, cracks in the backline defense. What do you say about that?
If you don't if you don't pick Ibrahim or Konate, this is what happens. You have
It's
to learn
true.
your lesson very quickly. You
Yep.
have to you have you
Ibu.
have to pick Ibrahim. You have to pick Ubu. Otherwise, you're going to suffer. Look, uh, I don't think any team has been without weakness in the World Cup so far. Every team we can say something.
If
But you
I'm not
have to.
wrong, no team in the group stages has finished with 9 points, right?
No,
Yeah, there
no.
you go.
And first time. Oh, the group stages were fantastic. You'll never get group stages like this where pretty much every game in every group to the last game had something riding on it. What more do you want? What more do you want in a competition when there's groups games, there's teams in a group? Who enjoys watching dead rubbers? Who enjoys it? Nobody. But every game had jeopardy. Every single game. And not only jeopardy, how many games did you see that went into the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Even the last 10, 15 minutes of the added time, of the injury time,
Amazing. Even yesterday, yeah. Did you see the yesterday's game? Argentina with the last kick, Australia could have equalized, taken to
Emi
extra time. Anything
Martinez
could happen.
with that
Gee,
save.
amazing save. So this is what I mean. Like France have looked impressive, and when you've got a fit Dembele and a fit Ousmane Dembele and a motivated Kylian Mbappe and a rejuvenated Antoine Griezmann, then you're more than a match for anyone else. You should any team playing them should be fearful.
Yeah, and I think I must have a slice of that humble pie because when we got the news Karim Benzema
Mhm.
got injured, right? I said, okay, they have Giroud, but I don't think France. I was pretty sure France would miss Karim Benzema's experience in those knockout games, right? Because he's won multiple Champions Leagues with Real, and he's been
The
in
coolest
those
man.
exactly. But
The cool
Olivier Giroud has stepped in, right?
more than stepped in, bro. We know Benzema is the coolest thing, one of the coolest strikers, ice cold in his veins of the last decade. 5, 7 years, okay, maybe decade. I'm stretching it, but 5, 7 years, last 5, 6 years, his record at the highest level is impeccable. The man for the big occasion, clutch, comes up clutch every time. But this guy, Olivier Giroud, wow. I'm with you. I'm with you in terms of humble pie because I never saw this when I first saw him many years ago when he was at Arsenal. I thought he's good, he's okay, but he's limited. But the way he's developed and the way he plays for the team, it enhances the three players that I mentioned before. His game is selfless. He's the most perfect player for them, possibly. And some France fans will tell you possibly more than Benzema even. And you can see the way they celebrate. You can see the way he's the focal point. He's like a wall for them. You know, when we're kids, we try to play football against a wall, and you play the ball and you get it back from the wall every time. The wall doesn't let you down, does it? The wall always passes back to you or gives you, confidence that there's a wall there. That's exactly what Giroud does for France, man. The way Benzema, Dembele, and Mbappe play off him, it's been a joy to watch. But I agree with you. At the back, they're not secure. Varane isn't the Varane that we saw in his early days in Madrid. You know, they're picking the wrong centre half in Upamecano. Konate, Saliba, some would say, is better. But and he even started off with the wrong left back. Let's not forget he picked Theo's brother, who's not really as good as Theo of AC Milan. So he's come across this back four.
And they've left out Luca
Luckily,
Digne.
yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, I'm not a massive Luca Digne fan anyway, but Theo Hernandez should have definitely started. And the fact that his brother got injured and that's why he got a chance. But sometimes these little lucky stories make a World Cup, right?
exactly. Netherlands, Argentina, tasty blockbuster, right? Uh, what do you have to say about that? What's going to happen? It's like Messi in Argentina. They're on a mission to win the World Cup for Messi. Obviously, this is last World Cup, right? And then they go up against a mastermind, one of the best strategists out there. He's been Van Gaal's been at the helm for decades. What's going to happen?
Look, the story and the romance of Messi in this World Cup is probably the biggest backstory of this World Cup, right? The story of Lionel Messi. Some people were predicting the final is the thousandth game of his career, but actually it was yesterday his thousandth game. But the story must continue. The story must continue. It has to, for the sake of the legacy, the myth, the legend that is Lionel Messi. He has to reach the final. He has to. And you're right. You're right. In front of him is an absolute mastermind in Louis van Gaal. I don't think this Dutch team is special. Honestly, but I don't think this Dutch team is that special. But he's a special coach, and he's getting performances out of them. And their performance against USA was probably their best so far. So you can see them slowly growing into the tournament. Again, the Netherlands don't inspire me when you look at them. They honestly don't. I know Gakpo has scored so many goals. I think he's a good goal scorer. I don't think, I don't rate him as much as people are rating him 60,
He's a
70
good
million euros.
finisher, but that's
He's
all
a
he
good
does,
goal
right?
scorer. Yep, yep, yep. He's look. there's not many Dutch players that haven't got good technique. If you're Dutch, you've got good technique. So he's got good technique, but I don't think he's got much more. Depay, we're seeing the young, vibrant Depay back again.
Resurgence.
He's got his mojo back.
Yeah,
So that's good to see. They haven't got any strikers. They have look. Frankie De Jong is a mastermind, who is Louis Van Gaal on the pitch.
exactly. Yeah.
So he's got that. He's got that, and of course he's got our very own Virgil van Dijk. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be a very tight, tense game. It's going to be very. It's going to be very, very tactical. Very. I don't think it's going to be a fast-paced game. It's going to be very leisurely paced and try to pick moments. And who better? Who better in moments than Lionel Messi? So let's see how it goes. That's what we're hoping. Moments.
England plays Senegal. Senegal, even without Sadio Mane, right? Our own Sadio Mane, um, they look really good. They've been playing really good, progressive, ambitious football. They've looked surprisingly really good. One only wonders what this side would have looked like had it had, Sadio Mane up front. So, how do you rate England's chances tonight? Because Harry Kane, I don't know, he hasn't looked Harry Kane, the Harry Kane that we all know and expect, right? To be coming, deep into the midfield, spraying balls all around for Saka or for Sterling. But yeah, what do you have to say about that? About the game?
So look, Senegal have been my surprise of the tournament. I feel, even though there's been other shocks and whatnot. Um, okay, South Korea is probably the biggest story to
They've
come out of
looked
the quarter.
consistent, Senegal, right?
Senegal, without Sadio Mane, I didn't give them a chance. Again, more humble pie. It just shows you nobody knows anything about football. Nobody. Nobody's an expert. We all just give our opinions and then, you know, see if we're lucky. Because without Sadio Mane, not many, in fact, people gave them a chance. But Ismail Assar has been superb, superb stepping up into his role. And credit goes to Alou Cisse, the coach. He's been with them for a long time now, and they've got a unity that sometimes is very difficult to overcome a united team like this when they're fighting for the same cause. And look, just I'm so sad that Sadio's not here though. I just can't. I can't. He's one of my favorite players of all time. Naturally, Liverpool fan and being a Muslim as well and everything. He's one of my heroes. So I'm so sad that he's not in the team. But I think they'll make it tough for England. But I have to admit, and I'm not saying it because I live here, but England look good. England look good. England's abundance of squad like talent in their reserves. When you're talking about no Sterling today, of course, uh, no Grealish, no Mount in the lineup, no Rashford in the
Rashford.
lineup. These guys, if you're bringing them on in the last 20, 30 minutes, wow, that is some strength. The only weakness, in my opinion, for the England team is at centre half because of the Harry Maguire scenario situation. But saying that, and of course, us Liverpool fans love to take the piss out of Harry Maguire. He's been okay for England. This is the strange thing. This is the strange thing. So
And that's
that's
why
their weakness.
Southgate trusts him, right?
Trust him. Trust him. Look, in every sport, cricket, hockey, football, whatever, every coach has their favorites that we as the public think, why? Why is he in the team? What does he do? But the coach trusts him absolutely implicitly. And this is it with Harry Maguire. But I think they will. I think they will. I think it could be tough. It could possibly go to extra time even. But I think England will go through. It'll be a massive, huge shock if Senegal go through.
And just off the topic, do you reckon Agent Henderson is doing his bit to sign and scout a certain Jude Bellingham?
From look from Henderson and Trent side, they've done all they can.
Even
They've
in
done all
training, you
they
get
can.
pictures where friends like he's got his arms around Jude, you know.
But shall I tell you what the funny part is? The funny part is when he takes the same pictures with John Stones, we don't see that as Liverpool fans. When he takes the pictures with the midfielder they bought from Leeds,
Yeah,
Phillips, Phillips, Kevin
Kevin
Phillips.
Phillips. Kevin Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he takes pictures with them, we don't want to say anything. We don't want to see it. But when he takes pictures with us, it's all over LFC Twitter, But listen, uh, we all know, that he's our number one target. I've spoken on it on my platforms many a time, like nearly a year ago, that he's our number one
And I
target.
think he
He's
also wants to
emerged.
join Liverpool,
His first choice is
right?
clearly Liverpool. I know some people that know his family, and they've spoken to me on a few times that, look, as long as Liverpool can strike a deal with Dortmund, he's ours. He's ours. Forget about Madrid. Forget about Man City, because that's the other real serious contender with us, not Madrid. It's us or City. So we have to agree with Dortmund,
Yeah.
and we won't get. And there's no issue with Jude in terms of his terms and his choice. He's so happy with us.
Even the Dortmund sporting director has said,
Mhm.
yeah, we have a great relationship with Liverpool, and but we won't be doing them any favors. We'll have to pay up the fee,
Of
right?
course. Listen, of course. This is
That makes
business, isn't
sense.
it, for these guys? Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
They know they've been stung by the Haaland deal. They didn't get their maximum money because of the clause. And they're gonna want to get maximum for Jude. And look, that's business. And we have to flex our muscles like we are known to do now and again when we want someone uh, of that caliber, of that price range. We are known to flex our muscles. Allison, Virgil, Nunes. It's time to flex our muscles again and bring Jude home.
Chris, the team that beat Spain and Germany, Japan, go up against Croatia. Luka Modric. How do you see this game panning out? Will Japan take advantage of the momentum, or will Croatia's experience, Luka Modric, will pull them
This
out?
is
And
this is the hardest game to call for me. Or maybe Portugal, Switzerland, but or this one. These are the two games that, my God, these are the two games where you just sit back and enjoy. Just enjoy it. It's
even
like there's
Switzerland have looked
no
really good. They've been doing their
ab-
business quietly. They've been playing really good football. Nobody's talking about them.
abs- absolutely. The football they've played under that coach is fantastic to see. But Japan and Croatia, wow, the maturity, the class of the Croatian midfield up against the undeniable energy and
Energetic.
pace of Japan. What a game! What a matchup! I mean, that's going to be fantastic viewing. I think Croatia may come through with the experience and the class of Luka Modric, for me, who's one of the most possibly underrated. Possibly,
Criminally underrated.
I know he's rated, but I still think he's underrated. If you know what I mean.
I
Like,
know, I know.
I think he's a Hall of Famer. He should be in the Hall of Fame in terms of, he should be in the Xavi, Iniesta's,
Exactly.
uh,
Yeah,
Zidane
Pirlo's,
conversations. Oh yeah, he's better than Pirlo. He's better
right?
than Pirlo.
Even the guy that the lads that I do my podcast with, right? One of the lads, Osama, he basically calls Luka Modric Fluka Modric.
Oh नहीं यार, oh यार, उसको बोलो please,
I will.
उसको
Show
बोलो
them. I'll
please,
show him this.
please उसको बोलो नहीं, ऐसे नहीं बोलना यार.
Exactly.
No, that's a travesty. Don't say that, man. This guy
Absolutely.
is,
Yeah.
this guy is, he's magic. You watch him play and you
He's
think, who's
classy.
this young man? Who's this young man? And then you find out he's 35 or 34. Wow. And he's in the
35. Yeah. I
World
think
Cup. And he's in
11
the World Cup
years at Real
in
Madrid.
Qatar. He's playing in Qatar in that heat, the way he's playing against young, fit, mobile players, and he's the one who's controlling the whole tempo. My
Even
God.
in the 90th minute, he's harping back and he's winning duels. He's tackling and he's pressing even in the 90th minute at this age. And then obviously, there's
Unique,
this
unique,
spring.
unique. These players are unique. They're not your everyday players. And when they retire, then you look back and you think, oh man, yes, you're right. You're right. We didn't notice him at the time, but when you look back at his career and you think, what was the one constant in that Madrid team or in that Croatia team? Because Croatia have no right to be in the semi-finals and the finals and all this and major competitions and everything. And then you see was Luka Modric was the constant in all that.
They've got these certain experienced players, a certain Dejan Lovren, Luka Modric, of course, you've mentioned, even Perisic, you know, and also Kramaric has looked really good. He's been scoring goals. His movement's been quite smart, intelligent. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they look good, and I think they will undo Japan. They have that experience on their side.
We thought the same for Spain. We thought the same for Germany. This Japan team don't give up.
They
They
don't give
literally
up.
don't give up.
Yeah, yeah.
And they play with the same energy from minute one to minute 98.
It wasn't the manner that they
Like
beat Germany in that group game. They came back so late. They never gave up, right? So that was great. Brazil, South Korea.
mm,
Uh, I
this
think
should be no
Brazil.
the
Yeah,
return. Yeah, the return of Neymar changes everything.
yeah.
He's like their inspiration. He's their Messi right now. I know people are speaking about Richarlison and Vinicius, who's wonderful, wonderful
Vinicius.
player,
Yeah, ask us Liverpool
wonderful player.
fans.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. We don't want to speak too much about him. Brings back very bad memories. But Neymar is their Messi. Neymar is their Ronaldo. Neymar is their Lewandowski. And now that he's fit again, they should have too much. And they'll have the right attitude because they've seen this World Cup can bring up shock. So as long as they've got the right attitude, they'll put South Korea away.
And Brazil look the complete package. They've got the midfield, they've got the forward line, an embarrassment of riches in every you know role in every part
Except
of the
fullback.
pitch,
My
except fullback.
my one
Yeah.
criticism of the Brazil team is I agree with everything that you said in terms of all the other positions, except left back and right back. I just don't rate any of them. Not one of them do I rate at the moment. Alexandro Teles, who's out now,
He's
and then
out.
Danilo, on the right. They've been playing
Mhm.
Militao, who I think is a magnificent centre back, but
Centre
not a
back,
great fullback.
exactly.
Yeah, so that's the one position where they're not quite as strong as everywhere else, but everywhere else is pretty strong enough.
Right, Grizz. And it was a pleasure having you on DN Sports. Thank you so much for sparing time out for us.
Not a problem, my brother. No problem at all. It's been my pleasure speaking with you.
Right. Thank you, Grizz.